Hello, good morning. My name is Chris Ebute. You're welcome to Piano Tutorials with Chris Ebute. And in this channel, we'll teach you how to play a gospel piano, licks, runs, and lines, and stuffs related to that. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about chord symbols. As a pianist, you definitely one time in your life come across chord symbols, or even you can even go on internet to maybe download some chord progressions of different songs. And you're going to be seeing different chord symbols on the music sheet. And so you should be able, as a pianist, you should be able to interpret it accurately on your piano. Anyway, thank God for the musical software that has made it easy for us to identify different chord symbols and all that. But there are some little other things that we need to still explain so that you don't get some things mixed up. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some of these chord symbols, and I'm going to focus on the triads, and some other diatonic chords, and even seventh chords in this video. So stay tuned. All right. So the first chord will be the C chord. I'm going to be showing you the symbols on the key of C. Right? It applies in every other key. In the key of C, it is very easy for, especially beginners, to easily visualize chords. So when you see a chord and you just see a particular letter, maybe C or F or G, just one letter like that, it tells you that that is a major chord. And please just ignore if you check the MIDI clause, you're going to be seeing number 3. You can see 3 there. I can see 3, 4, 5. So just ignore that number. It's simply it's talking about the position of the keys on the piano. For instance, this is F0, and then this is F1. That's the 1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F6. All right. So if you just see a chord without any other, if you see just a letter without any other addition in front of it, it's just telling you that it's a major chord. So if you want to play maybe if you see A, just A, that means you are playing a major chord. If you see just G, that means you are playing G major chord. If you see just E flat, it means you are playing E flat major chord. All right. So the second one is minor chord. So when you see a letter with MIN and in the front of it, or you just see a little M. Sometimes it's just you see MIN. Sometimes you just see just M in front of it. It's telling you that it's a minor chord that you are playing. So if you see F MIN, it means you are playing F minor chord. If you see A flat MIN, it means you are playing A minor chord. You can also see there's a dash. There are different symbols you can see. If you see also maybe let's say C with a little dash in front of it, it's still telling you that you are playing, that you are supposed to play A minor there. All right, so let's go to the next chord, the diminished chord. This is a C diminished, right? C diminished is just stacking two minor thirds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you get your diminished C diminished chord. So when you see DIM written in the front of it, in the front of a particular chord, what is telling you that is that you are playing a diminished chord. Or another thing you might see is maybe C and a little zero, like a degree sign, in front of the C, is still telling you that is a diminished chord. Okay, the next one will be augmented. This is augmented chord. So augmented, you just take your triad, raise the fifth by a half step, and you get your augmented chord. So when you see AUG in front of a chord, in front of a chord, a letter, you know that is an augmented chord. All right. So the next chord, let's go. Okay, the same augmented chord, you will see sometimes you can see a plus in front of the letter. It's still telling you that it's an augmented chord. All right, the next one is going to be sus2, or you can just say C2. C2, this is how you play it. It's just take a triad, omit the third, the middle note, and then play your 2 notes here. So that's your C2 or C sus 2. Yeah, C sus 2. The Hillsong music, they use this a lot. CCM music, CCM, they use this a lot. Alright, so the next one is going to be sus 2, sus 4, right? The sus there is something suspended. So this is suspended 2, suspended 4. So what you just take a triad, omit the, get rid of the middle notes, and then play the 4th note here. So this is your C sus 4. Now, if you check the middle clause, it's going to be showing you F sus 2. This is because it's actually still F sus 2. If you take this C to the top, you will discover that you're still playing F sus 2. This is F chord and sus 2. But right now, I'm not talking about this F sus 2, so I'm just talking about the C sus 4. So it's the same thing. All right, C sus 4. Yeah, so the next chord is this. Is a slash chord. So when you see a chord, C, maybe C slash G, what it means is that the first letter there, which is C, is what you play at the right hand, and is a chord. You just play your C chord. And then after the slash, the G, you see, after the slash, it's telling you that you should play the G note with the left hand. G note, take note, it's not G chord. You're not playing G chord, you're playing G note. That's what I mean. You can double it, you can play the octave, So take note. When you see slash chord, the first letter there is your chord at the right hand, with the right hand, and then the letter after the slash is what you play with the left hand. So any key, you can play the same thing. See, this is F slash C, meaning that you should play F with the right hand and C with the left hand. You can try to see chords like this. This is G flat here, and you see D at the left hand, B flat at the left hand. So you're just telling you to play G flat with the right hand, and you play D flat notes at the left hand. So this chord is usually used most times when you are going to the 5 chord. We give you all the glory. We worship you, our God. That's a chord right there. Slash chord. You are worthy to be praised. We give you all the glory. We worship you, our slash chord. You are worthy to be praised. Yeah, so that's slash chord. Now the next chord, let's go to other diatonic chords, not triad, but other diatonic chords. Let's see. Okay, the next chord will be C add 9. So this C add 9 is just to play your C and then add the 9. What is the 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is your C plus 9. I have your C add 9. Most times it's played with the 9 is played at we're using this one, just to do a little clustering instead of just split or scattering the note like this. You could just play it like this. It's still C add 9. C add 9 chord. Now, maybe in this video I'll still talk about another chord called C9. There's a difference between C9 and C add 9. C9 simply means that there is a 7th note, dominant 7th note, and then with your 9th. And then the C9 is without the dominant 7th note. So take note of that difference. Okay, the next one is going to be C6. C6 is just C and your 6. This is C chord, right? And then your 6. You can use this to end the song. You are worthy to be praised. Or you can put it at the you can use this one. You can say, you are worthy to be praised. Okay, the next chord will be, let's go to the 7th chords now. So the first chord, this is C, and then let's play the major 7th chord. So the major 7th chord, what you will see there is C with MAJ7. When you see C chord with MAJ7, it's saying that you should play major 7th chord. So how do you beat the major 7th chord? Just take your triad, go to the octave, lower it by a semitone or a half step, and you get your major 7th chord. So any key you are, maybe in the key of G, the same thing. Just take your triad, go to the octave, lower it by a half step, and you get your G MAJ7, meaning G major 7. So the next chord is going to be dominant 7 chord. So you take your C, go to the octave, lower it by a whole step. That's 1, 2, a whole step. Sorry. And you get your C dominant 7 chord. So it's usually written as C7. So when you see C7, it's still talking about C dominant 7 chord. Alright, so let's go to the next chord. The next chord is going to be minor chord. So this is, you take a minor chord, right? And then you add your 7th note. So this is C minor 7th. So what you just take your minor chord, go to the octave, lower it by half step, and you have your C minor chord. Yeah, so that's C minor 7th. All right, the next is going to be diminished. So take your diminished chord, go to the octave, lower it by the whole step, you have your diminished C diminished chord. And this is also called minor 7 flat 5 because this is your minor chord, right? And this is your 7th, minor 7th, then flat 5. So you can call it C diminished 7th chord, or you can call it C minor 7 flat 5, or you can call it C half diminished. And so let's talk about the C full diminished. So you just take your triad, go to the octave, lower it by a half step. You're going to be lowering it by 3 half steps. So 1, 2, 3. And you get your fully diminished chord. Yeah. Okay, so the next chord will be augmented. So you take your augmented chord, go to the octave, lower it by a whole step, and you get your C augmented chord. So those are the few chords that are a bit common. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I want to believe that you learned something from this video. And if you learned anything from this video, I'd like you to consider subscribing and also click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when I post new content. And just in case you have any suggestion, observation, or comment or anything like that, I'd like you to leave it at the description and I'll be glad to respond to you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.